it? We'll find out. Yeah, blue arrow appears to give us a helping hand. Rook f1. And there are still tactics in the air. White is far from out of it if he hits the black queen now. And I guess black's queen actually lacks squares, like queen h5. There's going to be knight f4, some forks. Okay, he has to find this move, and he does. He's back in the game.
There we go. And there we have it.
Great move. Where does the black queen go? e4. Okay, rook f7, the blue arrow teaching us, showing us the way. I think that's a natural move, but it's probably the follow-ups that are difficult after the black bishop moved there. But, okay, given a question mark, he plays a very natural move instead. Maybe the downside here is that after queen back to e6, for example, white loses some time having to save his bishop. That is not easy at all. Maybe the idea is to double up on the black bishop on the f-file. This is still sharp. This is still crazy, though. And Alireza is down to the 1 minute mark. Bring his queen to g6. The blue arrow. James, he's walking a tightrope here, Jan. He's having to find only moves all the time just to hold the balance.
And if I'm finding it, my goodness, he locked and loaded. Whoa. Okay, so now the question is, if I move the bishop, what is the move?
Wow. I mean, it's a double attack.
You know, hitting the bishop on, but then it's kind of crazy. Like bishop d6, I take the rook, you take the rook, I take the bishop. Like, it's kind of wild. He goes rook e8. Wow, moves are flying in right now. Okay.
Knight e5 was so cool. The knight was untouchable. It was poisoned because there would have been a back rank checkmate. Rook takes bishop. The black queen couldn't have taken the bishop either because of a knight fork. He can still land knight f7 now with a check. This is
There's
super
also rook
scary.
g1 now. Look at that. And then bishop h6 in some cases. Rook f6 is an idea too. Wow.
He allows the sacrifice. Blunder, blunder, blunder. Rook
Oh,
e7.
wait, that's not mate. That's not mate. What's the idea? Bishop takes. No, that's not mate.
What
do you
is
do?
the idea here?
Rook f6.
Oh, he can take it. And he's going to take it again. And he's going to play queen g1 check. And where's the black king going? A block, and the white queen can actually check via d4 as well.
What? Bro, that is ridiculous. That's crazy.
Take it. He's found it. Check.
Queen g1, and he finds the idea, and Jan just absolutely snapped. Oh my goodness.
Check.
Alireza. Vicious.
Wow.
Wow.
And now,
wow.
And there we go. It's just checkmate. The black king is toast. And there we go. Jan does get his first win. What a roller coaster game. There's still time for one more in the 5+1 portion, but that could be a real momentum turner. That could flip the whole match on its head now.
Oh my goodness. That was vicious. I mean, tactician versus the tactician here. They're both very vicious with tactics. Some very diabolical combinations that they find in classical games too. And it was a very nice spot by Jan there. Jan was able to get that. And winning in that type of fashion gives you some, like, a very good confidence is the word here. You're like, I still got it. Yes, that was what I needed. Now, okay, cool. 1 point game. Let's do what we got to do here. He's feeling good. He's feeling good, and that's what you like to see, because we do have ourselves a much bigger match now. He shook his head there, though. You always see that. Great game. Then start the next one, shaking my head. I could have played better. I could have played better moves. It's incredible.
I think
Always
he's just
critical of themselves.
Exactly. The top players are perfectionists. I think he was wondering why it took him like 7 games to wake up, Jan, and suddenly spot these incredible tactics. That was world-class attacking. Sack, mate, basically. And now he's up to more nastiness here. He's sacrificed a pawn. This is actually quite well-known theory. I'm shocked Alireza has walked into this, because this is known to be quite dangerous. Like bishop on the long diagonal, knight on b4, ties white down. If white castles now, black can, at the very minimum, take on f3, wreck the white pawn structure.
You know what, David? How about we go the other way then, David? Since that's the theory. How about we go against the theory then, David? Castle the other way. Now, that's scary, though, because a5, a4, but at the same time, I don't care about that. I'm not even playing, so we can do it. Castle queenside.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw something land on c1. I thought he castled. It was a rook.
Yeah.
Whoops. And this is like the Marshall Gambit. Like this is a better version. The marshal is in the Spanish, of course. Black sacrifices a pawn for the bishop pair and an attack. But this bishop is so strong. Another bishop on on d6 here. This just looks fantastic. f5, f4. Watch out. Scary stuff. Rook e6, yes. Rook lift.
Ooh, you're right. Yeah, black just has so much play here. My goodness. And the bishops do point at the king very nicely. There's a famous old game. I don't know if it was like Max Ova or somebody. Capablanca, one of them boys back in the day, had a famous game with these bishops like this. I don't remember who though. It was like hanging pawns in the center. They're demonstrating how to use hanging pawns with two bishops. Really strong, but no hanging pawns, just bishops. Very strong for Jan here, coming off a very, very incredible win. Feeling good here. Alireza, I think, is in a little bit of trouble. There's momentum on Alireza's side.
Yeah.
On Jan's side, sorry.
On Jan's side, exactly. Tilt is real. Like we saw it in the Hikaru Nakamura versus Wesley So match, where just one win was enough to suddenly turn the tide. We might be seeing it here again. The floodgates opening. He held Jan at bay for so long, Alireza, but some kind of nervy draws, and eventually the blunder allowing Jan back in. And can black continue the attack? Just the power of these bishops so strong. Rook g6. It feels like Alireza doesn't really care about bishops this match. He keeps giving them to Jan. And okay, rook takes rook. How does white recapture? Probably with the knight or bishop.
Yeah. The question is which one? Head shake. He's like, I don't know either. Head shake from Alireza, like, I don't know either, bro. Like bishop or knight. I don't like either. You know, that's what he just slight head shake there. It's not a comfortable position. You have to defend.
Yeah. Have to curl up into a ball. Maybe the knight comes around to f4. Oof. I mean, everything. It's like a traffic jam. Everything almost on the back rank. Retreat mode for Alireza. But still, at least he's suffering for something. He's suffering a pawn up, at least.
That is true. It doesn't feel like it. Like, does not feel like it. Like, pawn where? The double pawn? I'll take black all day.
Yeah. Agree. Even being a pawn grabber, I would take the bishops here, take the power of the attack.
So I like this f4 move. It does block my bishop, but my idea here is actually sacking on g2 and then queen h3. Plays knight c6, okay. Goes back to the house, trying to reroute.
Yeah, trying to land in the center. That's a bit of an odd one. Given a miss, the computer thought black should just wait, like move like c5. And apparently this move is the one that Jan missed, because now the white knight is coming to f4. There we go. d4 in the near future. Black's getting pushed back suddenly.
That is strong. Maybe, where do you put the rook? Rook h6 is an awkward move because you're hit. Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Your face says it all, David. It's like, yo, right on the diagonal for a free knight move here.
Yeah, I'm pretending I'm Jan, being extra expressive. But the rook on h6.
Conversation. Knight takes, rook takes.
Yeah. If white gets a few more moves, like maybe knight d3 as well is another consideration. But if white gets two more moves, like c4, d5, then he blocks out a bishop, and then it's like a dream. It's gone really wrong for Jan. He just feels like he's rushing again. He's playing for tricks. He was playing for rook takes h3, sacrifice, but he missed this one, getting the queens off, and he leans back, he frowns.
Yeah, is it? That's a strong, very strong move, because of course the queen cannot penetrate squares like queen to e6, and sometimes even knight to e5. In some cases, f4 is kind of hanging. Yeah, the attack is now gone, and as the eval bar says, white is better now, much better.
Yeah, and Jan again was rushing. Like, he had 4.5 minutes and an almost kind of decisive attack. Just incredible compensation for the pawn. And he was like blitzing, and now he's just clearly worse 5-6 moves later. It's crazy. This keeps happening. Maybe he was relying on queen takes queen and a rook check on h1, but it's a bit of a illusion there. Not much happening. The white king just happily moves into e2, and it's super safe. White still a clear pawn up. Not good news for Jan. Maybe the momentum turning back again in Alireza's direction.
Oh, definitely momentum shifts very quickly, especially with 1-point game leads like this. It's anyone's favorite here. You got the emotion, the swings there of what happens, trying to remember what happened in the last game or throwing games. In fact, missing things. Getting lots of emotions. But 5+1, this is the last game. Chat, what do you think is going to happen? Is this going to be a win for Alireza, a win for Jan, or a draw? What do you think in chat?
Now, what do you think? Can Jan turn it around yet again? 30 seconds up on the clock, but pawn down?
I think
or
not
will we
now
see...
because his pieces are so strange now. The rook on h6 is like out of the game. The queen c4 is such a strong move. The knight even on g6 has no squares. I mean, you can go e7. You can go back, but you have to go back to go forward. You know, knights are slow pieces. f4 is falling. I'm already up a pawn as white. So I think, you know, this is either Alireza win or a draw.
Yeah, I agree. And the time advantage is gone. Jan should have spent this 2 minutes, maybe 6 moves ago, instead of moving his knight away from b4. The moment he retreated the black knight was the moment it all went wrong, and now he's going hunting for pawns. But blue arrow shows it. Bishop takes f4. White is simplifying down. White's making the equation easier here. Clear pawn up. Shake of the head from Jan.
Yeah, too much, or not. Was not able to convert in that middle game there. Very difficult.
Now he's going to have to defend a tough endgame. This is going to be torture. Bishop takes f4 looks natural. Maybe knight takes pawn as well.
Right.
Just taking that pawn off the board. There we go. Defense the best move. And what to do now? He's also going to lose the bishop pair. That was one of his main compensating factors behind being those pawns down. And sneaky move there, profiting from the pin. White can't take that bishop as his rook is hanging. But you can also trap that bishop f3, and that bishop might have no way home.
Oh, that is ugly. Can you? Is that just GG? Is that Rezi on the spot? No, he has bishop f1, king f2, and get out of there. So luckily, he has a little way to get out. But f3 is scary for the bishop.
Yeah, a bit scary in general. This position for Jan, who is forced to trade off. And here we go, knight versus bishop. But the pawn difference is most likely going to decide. White needs to put the pawn on b4. There we go. Everything on dart squares. Liberate the knight. Maybe f4. Bring the knight out. What are your predictions? Can black hold this ever?
It's really hard because I'm down the pawn and I have this knight that is obviously a very annoying piece. It's also on seconds. If we had a lot of time with the knight, it's a little bit different. But having like you're having to move instantly almost with the 1 second increment here, so it's really tough. But actually, I guess he has that extra minute. I just kind of saw that there was a little small up there. So he has a minute. Okay, maybe he could draw. It's Alireza who has to move very fast.
And here we go. He's got to give a check now. That's the most natural move. Okay, he trades off a set of pawns. I thought this was quite a good decision, but maybe the black king is now so active that the white king is going to struggle to get into the game. The white knight has to somehow bypass the black bishop. That's not going to be easy. Doubled b pawns will make it tougher to create a pass pawn. And Jan's very confidently there traded off the whole king side. Pawns on just one side of the board. Normally knights profit, but it's going to be hard to break the black fortress running out of pawns now.
I thought c4 was really good. Bringing the knight back around. Next move is to play probably d5, which is played. King to the center and playing c5.
The bar rises.
There it is.
Black had
e5. Yeah, this is over.
This is definitely over now. Black had a chance to stop d5, maybe putting a pawn on c6, but that would have been ugly. I don't blame him for not doing it, Jan, but he's rushing too much. He's still got 1 minute against seconds. And there we go. The white knight carves a path for the white king to rush in. Very classy play. And Jan still, yeah, I think he's just been playing too fast. He hasn't got the rhythm right in the 5+1. The white knight's now coming in.
Look how annoying the knight is in these in games. Like, it's just the knight is all like, I mean, it's always the knight. It's always like this. It's so annoying that the knight does so good in the in games like this. It's just all the squares it can hit all the time.
Yep. And the knight is going to help white win this game. Jan drops another pawn. That is game over. Bishop takes pawn will lead to a hopeless endgame and resignation. Back to the 2-point lead, Alireza, as we end the 5+1 portion.
Wow. And Jan talking to himself there, of course, just frustrated of what happens. He's totally understandable. He's going to have to shake that off and go into the 3+1. Alireza, on the other hand, feeling great.